Good morning. Welcome to Windward Buddhist Temple Family Service. My name is Marota Shiro, and I will be your MC. We will begin with the ringing of the temple bell, or kansho. That signifies the beginning of the temple service. It is a deep and sacred ritual steeped in ancient tradition. It is calling of the people to come together to listen to the Dharma teachings. The temple bell represents the gratitude and deep appreciation of the members, friends, and guests of Windward's Buddhist Temple. Please sit quietly in your seat. Please rise for the meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana by the congregation in Pali and English. be seated. Today's sutra is Verses Affirming the Vows in the red Jodo Shinshu Service book on page 117. This is also known as Jusseige. So it's in the red book, page 117.
And illumine one shall fulfill these vows. May all lands tremble with joy. From the heavens, wondrous flowers rain down upon all the lands. Namandabu, the virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu.
Please rise for the recitation of the Golden Chain of Love in the red Jodo Shinshu Service Book on page 126. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to think pure and beneficial to every living being and to protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namu Amida Butsu. Please continue to stand for the Gatha Namu Amida Butsu in the brown Praises of the Buddha book on page 104. Namu Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please be seated. This morning, our speaker is Reverend Brennan.
Please join me in kansho. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namanda. Good morning, everyone. You know, today's Gatha, Namu Amida Butsu, it really is a joyful reminder to me because when I was a child going to Sunday school all the time, this was one of those songs that we did sing regularly. And you know, you may not have noticed that it was Reverend Shinkaku Hunt who wrote the words to this. His wife is the one who created a golden chain of love. And if you want to look over it again, I was going to repeat the words, but I thought I don't want to make my talk really long. But you could look it up again because the words are really quite beautiful and significant. Bishop Eric Matsumoto, in his 2023 message, urges us to make manifest our Hompa Honganji mission of Hawaii and slogan for 2023, which is building healthy sanghas, sharing joy together. As Shinan rejoiced in one of his poems, the light of compassion illumines from afar those beings it reaches. It is taught, attain the joy of Dharma. So take refuge in Amida, the great consolation. Do not keep that joy and happiness of the Nembutsu hidden within you. Monshu Kojun Otani writes in his book, and we do have a copy of it in your library. It's a wonderful, very simple book that many of you may enjoy reading and checking it out of the library. Anyway, he says, Amida Buddha embraces all beings as they are without condition and even goes out to save those who willingly try to run away from the Buddha. There is not one requirement involved in receiving Amida's embrace. In Amida's liberation, those of us who are unable to break free of our egocentric thinking and attachments are taken in and accepted just as we are. Being in the embrace of Amida Buddha does not simply mean that upon death we're welcomed into the Pure Land. More importantly, here and now, in this life, in this world we live in, we awaken in Amida's embrace. In order to practice Buddhist teaching, we must first study and understand it. It seems many people become discouraged. Buddhist books are too difficult. Buddhist writers are so intellectual, they write too many strange words. There are so many reasons to complain. Oh, it is too hard to understand. Well, if you're not familiar with the book Everyday Suchness, so I have another one. It's in your library. These are Dharma talks written by the Reverend Gyome Kubose, who was a minister at the Chicago Buddhist Temple. If you want to read it, I think you'll find it's very enjoyable and very light reading. You know, when children start to read at any level, they're challenged to learn a new vocabulary, to hear it spoken, to write it. Teachers and parents are patient in sharing the value of learning by helping their students to understand. Reading and learning about the Dharma is similar. Perhaps we need to heed the words of Shakyamuni Buddha before he left this world. He said, "Make my teachings your light, rely upon them, respect each other, learn together, practice my teachings together. The true Buddha is not a human body, it is enlightenment. A human body must die, but the wisdom of enlightenment will exist forever in the truth of the Dharma. After my death, the Dharma shall be your teacher. Follow the Dharma, and you will be true to me. Shakyamuni, with his last breath, is pointing out what is most important or essential. And thus, what has been passed on for over 2,500 years from ancient India to the rest of the world, including our own Hawaii, it is the Dharma or teachings. For us, as followers of the Pure Land tradition, it is the Nembutsu, deeply reflecting. It is not enough to only pass on the physical container of the Dharma, our temples. What is most essential is our sharing with others. The Nembutsu Dharma through living it, as exemplified by the lives of Honen Shonin and Shinran Shonin. Some time ago, I saw this program on TV. It was on the Hallmark Channel. I doubt if you guys ever watched that channel, but anyway, it's always full of these love stories that end very happily. But anyway, the guy in this show said, he was talking to a young man, and he said that, he lost his wife, so he opened a restaurant and he called it Lola. He shared with his young friend that through all their ups and downs in their marriage, things were not always clear. They doubted each other sometimes, regretted things said, but they never let things keep them apart. Through ups and downs, their love for each other was strong. Connection between two people, the realization that to appreciate that love means each needed to awaken to the commitment. Love of the Dharma, to me, is the same. We may doubt that we can ever understand the teachings fully. We may hear over and over again, but not understand or remember all the terms such as Shinjin, Bombu, Pure Land, Bodhisattva, Dharmakara, etc. Sometimes it's not easy to awaken to the Dharma, but through listening, hearing the teachings shared by our ministers and reading studying the teachings, we do become more aware of this gift from the Buddha. Dharma speaks to us through love for each other, for those closest to us, to the community, to all those in our ohana. We are recipients of the Dharma, the Buddha's teachings that are universal and guide us to lead meaningful, peaceful lives. Although Siddhartha Gautama lived in great luxury and comfort, he was not happy. After passing through the 4 gates, seeing old age, poverty, sickness, he asked himself, is this all there is to life? Such were the conditions that led the prince to renunciate the throne to begin his journey, spiritual search and quest for enlightenment. Because the Buddha discovered all the answers to all of life's questions, we don't have to leave our families to do the same. However, we do have to embark on our own spiritual journey to find answers through the Buddha's teachings. This is the meaning of listening to the Dharma. Shinran Shonin expresses his deep wish to become Buddha in one of his poems, or wasangs. The mind that aspires to attain Buddhahood is the mind to save all sentient beings. The mind to save all sentient beings is true and real Shinjin, which is Amida's benefiting of others. Monshu Otani Kojun stated in his New Year's message that Shakyamuni Buddha, who passed on the Dharma to us, made it clear there is no life nor entity in this world that lasts forever. This truth, the principle of impermanence, has never changed, even in this time and age, approximately 2,500 years since his time. Another fact that does not change is our inability to accept this truth as it is, and because of this, we continue struggling. This is the very reason why, regardless of the pandemic, we can rely on the Jodo Shinshu teaching clarified by Shinran Shonin, which guides us as a spiritual foundation that enables us to move forward even when being overwhelmed with difficulties. A gathering at the temple with Amida Buddha as its center provides a great opportunity to receive the Dharma, as well as an occasion in which people can support and reassure one another as fellow practicers who follow the same teaching. The Monshu also states, for many people, being reserved and somewhat stoic is a culturally emphasized trait. But when it comes to the joy of Buddha Dharma, no enryo, do not hesitate, would be his recommendation. Let it flow from the depths of your being outward and allow it to be known to others. Remember to smile and share your laughter. This is the one way we can share our joy. Needless to say, this sharing joy together is not limited to our close circle of friends and family, but it does start with them. Last week, some Sangha members met at the temple at 6:30. A couple of us didn't get the message that we could come at 8, but that's okay. We prepared 50 bentos of chili and rice, hot dogs, veggie sticks, fruit cup, a generous snack bag, and 2 bottles of water for the homeless through the Kailua Care Center at the Daybreak Church. A street cleaning project is planned in the near future. I encourage all who are able to join in this next community service project. In his book, Buddha's Call to Awaken, the current Monshu's father writes of the value of a home altar and what it can do for your everyday life. He says, it might be a bit abrupt to ask, but do you have an obutsudan in your house? Have you ever made offerings to the altar? It seems there are many families that do not have one these days. It can be small and simple. Having one provides the opportunity to look back on the day, to think about the way you are living. What is very important is having a place at home where you can place your hands together in kansho. It is a place in your everyday life where you can think. And symbolic of this is the act of osonae, and where the obukpan, offering of rice, is placed at the obutsudan. There are 4 obukpan at our altar. Bishop Eric Matsumoto asks us this question: do we truly understand the 18th vow, that Amida's vow embraces us unconditionally? What is it to be grasped and not abandoned? How do we experience this basic Jodo Shinshu teaching? Well, I'd like to share 2 verses of a song composed by Laurie Rubin and Jennifer Tyra called Buddha's Great Light. The first verse goes like this: in times of difficulty, I say Namu Amida Butsu, doing my best with a calm heart, thankful for my life as it's given, living in embrace of Buddha's great light, of wisdom and compassion. We are living in difficult and constantly changing times. Many people are experiencing tremendous stress with the loss of their jobs and income. We can try to benefit those who are in pain. We are interconnected and in this together. The second verse goes, in times of gratitude, I say Namu Amida Butsu, doing good no matter how small, reaching out with a warm heart, always in embrace of Buddha's great light of wisdom and compassion. Because we are aware of our interconnectedness with others, we can try to do good, no matter how small. In closing, this is the last day of April. We celebrated Hanamatsuri, the Buddha's birthday, and acknowledged the lives of Ashini and Kakushini, two very important women in our Jodo Shinshu history. Next week, May 7th, will be our annual observance to express our gratitude for the birth and life of our founder, Shinran Shonin, who was born on May 21st, 1173. This special service is called Gotanye. Please come to hear and enjoy Reverend Bert's message next Sunday. Thank you for being here in person today and for watching the YouTube. Thank you for listening with an open heart. With hands together, please join me in the three treasures. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Thank you very much. And Bob will put these two books back in the library, so whoever wants to borrow them.
Thank you, Reverend Barbara. Please rise for the Gatha, Flying Free, in the purple WBT Supplemental Service Book on page 30. Again, that's Flying Free on page 30. And continue to stand for the Nembutsu.
Stand
truly and trusting means that you're able to truly relate to another being, not only human beings, but with plants and animals. Even those things that cannot speak, you are able to hear their feelings. Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu, Namu Amida Butsu.
Thank you. Please be seated. We have announcements this morning. Dennis?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Barbara, for your message today. I can attest at least two of those books I read. And I'm not a reader, but I read those books and they were very interesting. Please go through the library. If any questions, you can ask Bob. He knows all the books that we have over there. Thank you also to Merle for being our MC, Jerry for being our greeter, Cynthia for ringing the kansho, and of course Lisa for playing the piano. Today's refreshments will be provided by Team A, which is led by Lisa. Some announcements. The Buddhist Study Center will be having the summer session for 2023, featuring Reverend Dr. Miyagi from the Southern Alameda County Buddhist Church. This will be Monday, June 5 through Friday, June 9, from 6 to 8 p.m. You may attend the sessions in person or online via Zoom. The sessions are free, but donations are welcome. I have the flyer posted on the bulletin board, so if anybody's interested, please check it out. They've had this summer sessions for quite a number of years, and several of our members have attended a number of them. So I think they are very interesting, and it's fun. I think if you do go there live, Prudence, have you gone there recently live? Yeah, I think most, if not all of us, have been doing it via Zoom lately, but in the good old days, it was nice to see people from other temples, and it's been a while since I think we've seen a lot of them. In observance of Earth Day, as I mentioned last week, it was last week Saturday the 22nd. We'll do an activity in May. Like we did last year, we're going to do some cleanup along Ku'ule Road. That'll be Saturday, May 20th, from about 9 o'clock. And I think we should be able to finish within 2 hours. I do have a sign-up sheet on the back table if you care to join us. If you want to bring your family along, it'd be great. And wear your Windward Buddhist Temple t-shirts. Wear otherwise comfortable clothing, including maybe a cap, shoes. We'll be providing gloves. We're starting up something new in May. We realized that there's some questions that people had maybe not articulated or at least asked. So we're going to have a box and we're going to name it Ask Your Minister. And it doesn't have to be a secret kind of note. I'll create some forms. You can write your name if you want, but any simple questions or maybe a little more in-depth type of question. If you have a question that maybe you'd like to speak to Reverend Barbara personally, that can be arranged too. But for some of those questions, what we'll do is Reverend Barbara will present those questions after some service in the future, and she'll explain the answer Simple questions could be something like, what is the proper way of offering incense? Maybe, we've been doing offering of incense all along, but, you kind of follow what the guy in front does kind of thing. But maybe Reverend Barbara could actually show you the steps that are involved. Or, who can wear a Montoshiki show? It's not special people. It's anyone really who's attending a service. But again, simple question that can be asked. Next Sunday, as Reverend Barbara mentioned, is our Gotangye service. And it will be to observe and celebrate the birthday of Shinran Shonen, the founder of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. Reverend Butsu Sumikawa will be providing the Dharma message. The meditation sessions that Reverend Bert does every Thursday afternoons, I think 5 to 6, he'll be going to Japan on May 8th, so he'll be missing the next 3 sessions, so there'll be no meditation sessions from, I don't know what that Thursday is, the 10th, I believe, 11th. 11th, 18th, and 20th. 11 and 18, just those 2? Yeah. So 11, 18, yeah, but you'll be back by the 25th, so. Are you going to be here this May 4th? The first week in May? Okay. Okay. Next Sunday will be the first Sunday of May, so it'll be the first family service, and Prudence is planning to do some fun intergenerational activity. So Prudence.
Good morning. We've done this before, but I thought we'd do it again, being that it's graduation time and it's Mother's Day coming around. Remember, we made these yarn lace. So most of you know how to do this, I think. This is just a single one. So if you already know how to do that, you can try making a double one. The double one is with 2 straws. And it's a little fatter, it takes a little bit more yarn, but it lays flat. So we'll be doing this, okay? So how many of you think you want to learn so I can make sure I have enough stuff? Okay. All right. Yeah, so Mother's Day and graduation and whatever else you want to use a lei for. So we'll do this. Thank you.
It seemed like there were guys shy to raise their hands. If you have someone graduating, for example, Kailua, you could use 2 different colors, blue and white. Blue and white, right? Yeah, you could alternate blue, white, and or mix it together. I've tried. Yes, Reverend Bert? Oh.
Good morning, everyone. This is in regard to our Saturday morning study class. We're supposed to end in the beginning of April, but it's still ongoing yet. It may never end, I don't know. But we're going to have one more session this Saturday, and then we'll suspend it until I come back. So the next one after I come back is going to be May 27th. Okay, so we'll have one this Saturday, and then we'll stop and come back again on the 27th. Thank you. We have a lot of questions. That's the reason why it's ongoing, which is a good thing, right?
You could assign homework. Okay, next announcement, Merle will talk about Bon Dance.
First of all, we forgot to thank Ryan, who's a big part of our Sunday service, because without Ryan, no YouTube. So thank you, Ryan, for always being there for us and working so hard to get everything up online. Okay, so Bon Dance is coming, and you've all got your newsletters, I think, by now, which details all the different events, the timetable of all the help that we're going to need, what days, and what's involved. So I hope that you read through that and then come and see me, because besides having a sign-up sheet for donations, I have a sign-up sheet for those people who would like to help us on Friday when we do the prep, on Saturday when we do the spam musubis, and Saturday night when we do the actual concession. So come and see me about that, and we'll sign up. And right now, we have a lot of people signing up last Sunday and the Sunday before. But we still have items we need, so come up and see me. We should be able to hopefully fulfill all the things that we need for the concession. So we appreciate all your help and appreciate everybody coming out. Oh, and then don't forget the manpower is needed, on the week before, July 1st, manpower to set up the Yagura. So bring your grandsons or bring your nephews, your son-in-laws, and have everybody come down and help the guys so they don't have to carry the lumber themselves. Okay.
Any other announcements? If not, it's time for refreshments. So if we could do the words of thanksgiving, found on page 126 of the red service book. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us remember Amida Buddha's compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namu Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu. Thank you, everyone.